So welcome to the next interview in the How to Get the Most Out of Your AJC Coaching Career School experience. My guest today is Peter McCammon. Thanks for joining me, Peter.
My pleasure. Good to be here, Dave.
Yeah, cool. And Peter's going to kick off today with a little bit of his bio, I think. So over to you.
Yeah, thanks. So the bio is it's quite long. It's a bio that I created for the AJC Coaching School in September, and it's the one that went into the program. So I'm going to read that. It still pretty much applies. So
brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. So I am 54 years old, married to Julie for 31 years, and have two children who are now 28 and 26. My wife, Julie, is a physiotherapist. She specializes in something called myofascial release, and she published a book in 2021. My son is a doctor in London, and my daughter, who is an adventurer at heart, she works for an online marketing company in Vancouver, although she has just relocated back to the UK. So that's a slight change. After school, I studied for a degree in business studies at Ulster University in Northern Ireland, before undertaking a graduate level trainee manager scheme at J. Sainsbury PLC. Following this, I returned to my family business in Northern Ireland and spent 8 years working with my family to build the retail business my dad had acquired from a relative. The business is now 100 years old in 2023. My dad started me in at the deep end, gave me a store to manage. I progressed to managing multiple stores before being promoted to operations director with responsibility for HR, marketing, and training. I held this role for the last 10 years of my time at Menari's. When I left the business, we employed approximately 500 staff across 25 locations, and turnover had grown to approximately 50 million at the time. I left the business in 2008, continue to have an interest in the business, financial interest in the business, and a share ownership in a number of properties with my brothers. I experienced burnout in 2006 and found my way to a psychotherapist. The experience resulted in me training as a psychotherapist and leaving Menari's, the family business. I spent a number of years working as a volunteer in a community centre before establishing my private practice in 2010. In addition to my basic training, I continued to build on my practical therapeutic skills and undertook training in sensory motor psychotherapy to support clients with trauma, as well as training in working with couples through both the Gottman Institute and Imago Relationships International. I'm currently a registered counsellor accredited by the BACP. In 2016, I trained as a coach and started working with a number of business stroke corporate clients while continuing to run my private therapy practice. In 2020, I made the decision to run my therapy practice down and focus on building my coaching practice. As well as my coaching diploma, I have a certificate in systemic team coaching and have completed training in organizational relationship systems coaching and am a certified clarity coach. I've been working with Ankush as an apprentice since October 2020 and will attend it's going to be my 5th Powerful Men's Immersion later this year in September. Under Ankush's guidance, I learned the art of enrolling clients. Over the last 18 months, I have filled and kept my practice consistently full. That was true in September. It's still true. My fees have doubled, well, actually over doubled during this time, increasing. Well, actually, my fees have increased by 50% since the beginning of the last school in September. So I'm anticipating that my practice will continue to grow and hopefully going to cross the threshold of being a 6-figure coach in 2023. And my clients are mainly owners, founders, directors in small, medium-sized enterprises across a variety of sectors, including health and fitness, retail, insurance, training, recruitment, engineering, manufacturing, tech, software, and automotive. In more corporate space, I'm working with the director of that's completed. I have worked with the director of a space exploration company, director of a bank, and a founder of a company that specializes in connecting large sustainable energy projects to the national grid. Outside of the business sphere, I currently work with a couple, in fact, two couples, a founder, director of a charity that supports people at risk of suicide, and a CIC that supports children in care, and a few coaches. Finally, in the last few months, I have been invited to be mindset speaker on a number of retreats that are run by one of my clients, and I love the variety. Health and fitness are important to me. I have actually, that's slightly changed. I had a plant-based diet for 5 years, though I'm experimenting around the edges with that currently. I love to exercise. In the past, I played representative rugby for Ulster at under 19 and under 20 level, as well as playing at club level in the Ulster Senior League for a few years. I have been a keen runner and cyclist, and I love snow skiing. My proudest moment in sport was in 2014 when I completed the Ironman triathlon in Wales. And yeah, my current drug of choice in the area of sport is, well, CrossFit. I've just transitioned, but
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my bio.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Oh gosh, there's just so much in there. I like,
Well, yeah,
so much we could talk about in that. I love your last phrase, my drug of choice in health and fitness. That's so true. It's brilliant. I mean, so many things we could talk about, Peter. I think one of the things that'd be really interesting to listeners is that whole issue of a full practice and maintaining at the level of full, because I know that's it's a huge challenge, isn't it, in the coaching industry. So can you maybe talk a little bit about how working with Ankush and the school is, what have you seen, or who are you being that makes that that makes a full practice a symptom of that? How does that look for you?
Well, when I started working with Ankush in 2020, I had 3 clients, and it took me just over a year, probably to the end of 2021, to fill my practice. And I mean, that was in a way, it was a simple but not necessarily easy process of just filling my calendar with conversations. One of the things I'm pretty strong on is when I commit to something, I commit, and I tend to see things through. And so I just made a commitment that my calendar was going to be full of conversations, whether they were people paying me or not. And that came around through a number of different ways, I suppose. Former clients. I just went and had conversations with people that I knew from the past, people that had worked with me before. I carved out some leads through LinkedIn. I used a company that does lead generation to do that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, in a number of different ways, but I suppose that the focus on that was that I created space in my calendar Monday to Friday from effectively 9 to 5, and I had space for 3 or 4 conversations every day, and I just kept going until that was full, and progressively those conversations became more and more conversations that people were paying me for. People, as I became better at enrolling, I hired clients, and more of those were with paid clients. And I've just never stopped that, so whenever I have a space in my calendar that's not with a paying client, it's available for somebody who's not. And so I'm just always wondering where my next clients are going to come from, because I guess just have this sense that not everybody is going to renew, and there will be spaces. So how am I going to fill those? So I'm just always connecting with people to begin conversations with that in mind.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I really, you said about, you know, committing and able to get things done, and yeah, I mean, that's what I hear clearly in that, and I hear, particularly last thing you were saying about, you know, if there's a space in your diary in between paying clients, then you're looking to, you know, to put a conversation in with somebody who could ultimately become a paying client. It's a commitment to, there's a commitment to a lot of things there, isn't it? It's like continuity, of always being serving, always being in conversations, always coaching. And it's just so interesting for me. You were talking about health and fitness and whatever. And when I was speaking with Ankush this morning, a gym analogy came up. You know, we were talking about people renewing, and the analogy of renewing at the gym came up, or renewing with a personal trainer. You know, if someone's getting great results with you, then chances are they'll renew. The same as at the gym. If you're getting results at the gym and able to do more of what you want to do, then it makes sense to keep up your gym membership. You know, so.
Well, for me, for sure, yeah, and I get the gym analogy as well. I mean, I do a lot of. I mean, I train 3 times a week minimum, and I'm with a PT at the minute, and you know, we've developed a great connection, and he's created a community. I'm in a fixed group of, you know, there's 5 men. We train 3 times a week together, and there's something about there's a little community and great coaching, and we're all, you know, we're all seeing ourselves make progress, and it's so. I mean, I think that happens within, you know, I think that's something that's very, actually what I'm just describing is very aligned to the AJC school, where
yeah, that's what I was hearing as well, actually. Yeah,
we've got a great coach in Ankush who is leading it, and a great group of coaches, and that there will be a community that is created out of this, where we will, if it's anything like the last time, we will be cheering each other on to create more of what we want in our coaching practices. I find it a very, you know, it's not a competitive environment in terms of you know, people trying to be better than the rest or better than other people or to beat other people. It's not that kind of competitive. People are determined and wanting to create something really you know, special in their coaching practices, but it's done with the support and the encouragement of other people. And that's one of the huge things that I suppose I really enjoyed about the first school, and you know, something that I you know, part of the reason, well, one of probably many reasons why I'm coming back for number 2.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I think that there's an expression, isn't there, something like "come for results, stay for community" or something like that. I think I've heard people say that before.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a great sense of community and support within the first, you know, and throughout from the day one, it was there, and it lasted right through, and continues. In fact, you know, the last school, there's still a little WhatsApp group that is, I mean, it's active daily.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
One question that sort of sprang to mind there was like, was there something that changed through the process that really surprised you that it changed? You were like, wow, I didn't, you know, I hadn't imagined that would alter.
I don't know that there's anything that's surprised. Well, I mean, I'm going to say it this way. I've changed. I'm different.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I had necessarily expected that out of the school. I think I signed up for it knowing I was really interested in learning this material that Ankush shares in a group environment. I knew that would be really different from the work that I do with him one-on-one. Was really drawn to that as just a different learning environment, an environment in which that growth could happen. But I'd probably seen it more as through the enrolling skills or the tools that I would be reminded of that I'd forgotten about that he'd already told me about. There's a sense in which it actually went much deeper than that, right into the whole idea of who I'm being as a person, as well as a coach. And that definitely changed, because I remember early this year, Ankush, we were just talking about my practice, and he said, Peter, there's probably no reason in my mind why over the next X number of years, and I can't remember if he put a figure on it, that you couldn't actually increase your business from where it is tenfold. And it was so interesting. My reaction to that was, yeah, why not? And a year ago, I would have dismissed that. I just would have been, I would have just thought, no, that will never happen, or that's not possible, or and so I think the shift in me that I'm probably pointing to is just a much greater sense of what's possible for me has just increased, widened in a really significant way, not just in a kind of incrementally I could do this or that. It's much more, and whether I do or whether I don't is really not the point, whether I achieve that or not. But it's more about what I see as possible, and from a place of possibility, who knows. So that's probably, in terms of the school, I hadn't anticipated something like that coming out of it.
That's amazing, isn't it? Like, what I really hear there is as you expanded and somebody reflects to you expansive numbers, you're able to take that on. And go, wow, maybe I could do that, actually. Maybe I could have that tenfold increase. That's brilliant. I think there's so much we could talk about. But I know, just from what you've shared so far, I'm sure people are going to want to connect with you and reach out. So what's the best way that they can do that, to get in touch with you?
Probably just through Facebook. I'm visible on Facebook just through my own name, Peter McCammon, and there's my surname is not very common, so there are not very many Peter McCammons on there, and certainly even fewer who are coaches based in Northern Ireland. So that's the easiest way. I have an email address, which is peter@pm-coaching.co.uk. That's another way people can reach out. But probably the easiest way is just to message me through Facebook.
Amazing, thank you. And I think you're going to close for us in this recording with your document that you've created. Thank you. I'll let you read that.
Okay, so I won't be reading this.
Speaking.
So just to say a little bit about this, I created this document. I started to create this document in it was autumn last year on one of Ankush's immersions, and we spent 2 days creating the foundation of it. And I probably spent about 2 months after that, up until maybe the end of the year, playing with it, if you like, adjusting it, adding a little bit, taking a little bit away, changing some words. And so what I'm going to share with you now is where I got to. Probably I kind of fixed it by around about first or second week of January this year. So and at that stage I learned it. I'll hopefully get through it without stumbling. But
brilliant, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to share it.
Thank you.
I am perfect love that overcomes all fear and judgment. I am deeply filled with gratitude, but only always. I am an incredible force of nature, and people's lives transform when they spend time with me. I am that the whole world is a stage on which I am always playing, whether the house is full or empty. I am always in action, always making my next move. I am consciously and consistently creating and in creation every day. I am living loving service. I am a piercing light that reveals the infinite potential and possibility I see in everyone. I am that everyone is worthy of my love, especially me. I am that nobody is worthy of my judgment, especially me. I am that separation, comparison, and competition are all an illusion. I am that we are all one. I am that we are all God with a small g. I am totally comfortable being seen and known. I am that no amount of money spent on me can come close to even a fraction of my value or worth. I am that I know what I want and I create that. I am that I see no problems. I am that I easily initiate conversations with anyone, anywhere. I am an amazing listener, and wherever I go, I slow down to hear beyond people's words and right into who they are being. I am that I willingly and consistently embrace growth through change in any area of my life. I am that I deeply value my time and use every minute wisely. I am fearless, I am fun, I am audacious, I am strong, I am free, I am unforgettable. I am courageously, powerfully, unashamedly, and unapologetically being me. I am perfect health. I am that my physical fitness and strength are always high priorities for me. I am that maintaining a healthy diet is non-negotiable. I am lovable, sexy, and charming. I am a handsome devil, and I turn heads wherever I go. I am also an incredible husband. I'm committed to my amazing, beautiful, talented, and inspirational wife, Jules, with every fiber of my being. I am consistent in my being fun, excitement, romance, and intimacy in our marriage. I am that I play full out, hold nothing back, and live an epic life with Jules, creating the amazing and the impossible. I am the most unconditionally loving, supportive, encouraging, and inspirational dad to Jake and Soph. I am a master of perfect surprises and gifts. I am a fabulous cook. I am a coach, a leader, a business owner, and a man, and who I am being as I move through life is radically impacting people's lives every day. I am the most inspirational and transformational coach on the planet. I am that I create and help create the improbable and the impossible for fun. I am that I am only ever scratching the surface of what's possible. I am a go-to trusted advisor. I am a master at my craft, and I never stop growing. I am that I create money with total ease. I am that my fees represent and will always represent incredible value no matter what I charge. I am that I don't have to do it all on my own. I am that I can work from anywhere in the world. I am that I collaborate with others so that I can focus on what's most important to me. This is who I am, and this is who I create myself to be, and my parents named me Peter.